So the internet is spiraling again, and this time it's acting like it just cracked open a secret case file stamped confidential, all because Blueface's mom Karlissa, queen of cryptic comments and unfiltered live rants, hopped online and dropped what fans are now calling a bombshell about baby Junior, allegedly pointing fingers at Chrisean's private behavior like she just uncovered the Da Vinci Code with a ring light. Nobody asked for an explanation. Nobody demanded proof. And yet the comment section instantly transformed her vague suspicions into a full-blown scandal. Like TMZ accidentally leaked a scientific report, random viewers in Facebook groups started zooming in on screenshots of Junior yawning, tugging on socks, or blinking like a normal baby, announcing that it all matches Karlissa's warning. TikTok detectives, who graduated from the University of Guesswork, swear her tone exposed hidden truth, even though she didn't name a condition, didn't show evidence, and didn't present anything except passive-aggressive shading. Still, it didn't matter. The internet smelled drama. And that's a stronger trigger than facts. People are now dissecting every moment Chrisean ever posted with Junior. Wall colors, hand angles, diaper brands, convinced that a vague accusation turned into revelation. And that's how thin air became a bombshell. The moment this entire internet wildfire ignited wasn't even a speech, a press conference, or a calculated leak. It was just Karlissa doing what Karlissa does best, going live with vague frustration, side-eye commentary, and eyebrow-lifting insinuations that left viewers grumbling to fill the silence with their own conspiracy theories. She tossed out a few lines about private habits and some things a mother can see that others ignore. And the online world exploded like someone dropped a rumor grenade in the middle of a digital crowd. She didn't mention Junior having a problem. She didn't describe anything specific. She didn't elaborate on what those habits even meant. Yet viewers ran to the nearest gossip platform acting like she'd handed them a thick binder of hidden files. People swore her tone sounded like the prelude to a major revelation. They clipped the stream, slowed the audio, and zoomed in on her eyelashes as if body language was hard evidence. Karlissa raised an eyebrow. That became an encrypted message. She paused mid-sentence. Fans labeled it proof of restraint. She said the phrase "some people don't know what they're doing behind closed doors." Suddenly, TikTok detectives declared she was hinting at some mysterious issue connected to Junior, without ever explaining what issue or how anyone jumped from vague irritation to imaginary condition. But that's how digital gossip alchemy works. Toss in one ambiguous line and the crowd invents the rest. Comment sections became chaotic laboratories for theory brewing. People tore apart old livestream clips, resurrecting Karlissa's previous rants like archived research files. They said her wording matched the tone she used months ago when she hinted about family tension. They compared her cadence to moments when she'd argued about Chrisean's parenting style. They ignored context entirely and instead treated her vague phrasing like X-ray scans. Users wrote essays explaining that Karlissa must be referring to something deeper, because nobody speaks that cryptically unless they're holding back information. Others declared that if she pointed at personal behavior, then something had to be brewing behind the scenes. The fun part? Nobody knew what that something was, so everyone just made it up. Screenshots of Junior doing absolutely normal baby things became analysis slides. One post showed him tugging at socks, and a commenter captioned, "This is what Karlissa meant." Another showed Chrisean holding him during a live stream, which viewers dissected frame by frame, the arm angle, the lighting. Even the length of the clip became evidence. They said she seemed tired, too relaxed, too chaotic, or too carefree, depending on which narrative they preferred. Nobody questioned why random strangers on the internet suddenly believed they could diagnose unspoken meaning from grainy Instagram pixels. They didn't care. The fun was in the speculation. Then came the pseudo-experts, not doctors, not analysts, not insiders, just confident commenters with strong Wi-Fi and an overactive imagination. They declared that Karlissa's tone was too knowing to be coincidence. One said Karlissa had that sound people get when they've seen things. Another wrote, she definitely wasn't talking for no reason. None of them could explain what she actually meant. None attempted to ask for clarity. Because clarity would kill the scandal, and scandal is oxygen for online watchers, nobody questioned the possibility that Karlissa might have just been annoyed, reacting emotionally or ranting with no deeper motive. They didn't consider the obvious, that her subtle jabs might have just been family drama disguised as snark, with no secret revelation hiding underneath. Instead, viewers treated her tone like wiretapped audio. They replayed her half-sentences and circled timestamps like she'd whispered ancient prophecy. The more ambiguous the message, the better it sold. Rumor-based breakdowns flooded feeds. TikTok narrators leaned over their phones in dramatic half-whispers, using soft music and grayscale filters while analyzing nothing. They said phrases like "pay attention to how she said that," or "look at how she stresses the word private." Suddenly, the word private became a code for allegations no one could verify, define, or explain. Creators went viral by simply implying that something existed. They didn't need details. The crowd preferred mystery over clarity. As the clips circulated, Karlissa's name trended alongside Junior and Chrisean, even though neither had done anything new. The drama wasn't rooted in events, it was rooted in interpretation. Online speculators insisted Karlissa was dropping hints about something connected to private behaviors, even though she'd given zero description of what those behaviors were. People filled the blanks with imagination, fan bias, and leftover hostility from past feuds between Karlissa and Chrisean. Suddenly, her generic cautionary tone became bombshell energy, upgraded solely by the internet's thirst for sensation. Old receipts resurfaced to past interviews, arguments, posts, and clips dredged up from months ago and reframed as pattern recognition. One commenter said, "Karlissa been trying to tell us. You just have to learn how to decode her." They treated her livestream like a national broadcast, as though her facial expressions alone could reveal unseen realities. People screen recorded every moment she squinted, pursed her lips, cocked her head, or blinked too slowly. Each tiny gesture morphed into a supposed breadcrumb, and because the internet loves divided teams, arguments broke out everywhere. Some viewers defended Chrisean passionately, accusing Karlissa of stirring drama to regain spotlight. Others swore Karlissa had insider understanding purely because she's a grandmother and therefore knows more than the public. Both sides debated fictional theories as if they were courtroom evidence. Nobody wanted truth. They wanted narrative enrichment, dramatic speculation, and the entertainment of conflict. The conversation wasn't about Junior. It was about the thrill of dissecting cryptic comments. Then, as always, meme culture jumped into the mix. Images of Karlissa holding invisible binoculars popped up, captioned, "When you swear you saw something no one else did." Edits showed her staring dramatically at camera lenses while commenters joked about grandma analytics. Division, people laughed while simultaneously insisting there must be something behind this. Humor became a disguise for suspicion. Even those who mocked the rumor contributed to its spread. Podcast panels, live-stream discussions, and mini commentary shows followed, each treating Karlissa's word choice like forensic clues. They emphasized that everything was just theory, but still used dramatic language as if the theory held weight. They tapped the mystique of vagueness, because nothing sparks more attention than a mystery with no real substance, and through all of it, no one stopped to acknowledge that the bombshell existed only as a story built on assumption. Karlissa hadn't presented proof, claims, or specifics. She'd sparked reaction by doing what she always does, speaking passionately, cryptically, and emotionally. That's all it took. What came next was the full digital meltdown, the era where the rumor snowball became an avalanche. The second Karlissa's ambiguous livestream clip hit peak circulation. Everyone with a platform, from YouTubers to TikTok breakdown channels, jumped on it like it was the plot twist of a new season of Love and Hip Hop. They didn't ask questions, didn't check context, didn't wonder if Karlissa might have just been tossing shade. They went straight to what does this mean? Because speculation is a currency online, and this one printed itself like counterfeit bills with no expiration date. Creators built entire narratives around nothing. One TikToker posted dramatic text overlays, "The grandma knows something," followed by a montage of Junior peacefully napping. They slapped goosebump music under it, zoomed in on Chrisean's expression from an old livestream, and called it evidence. Another user did an hour-long investigative live, staring at still frames of Karlissa's face at 600% zoom, explaining for attention and mouth shape like she was reading meteor patterns to predict a hurricane. Viewers commented with the urgency of crime analysts, saying things like, "No, seriously, pause at 0:14 when she tilts her head. She knows. Her head. She knows." Then celebrities stepped into the chaos, not addressing Junior, not confirming any rumor, but simply breathing near the conversation. A rapper liked a comment under a blog post, and instantly it became confirmation. Someone else reposted a meme about family secrets, and that alone was enough to ignite another round of hysteria. Nothing was said, nothing declared, nothing proven, but the crowd treated tiny digital crumbs like royal proclamations. Vague emojis, side-eye faces, even silence became signals, because when the audience is committed to a storyline, the facts don't matter, the signals write themselves. Podcast hosts started stacking segments titled, "Karlissa's Cryptic Statements. What did she really mean?" And the answer, if anyone actually listened, was absolutely nothing. She spoke generally, emotionally, and softly shaded Chrisean, the same style she'd used 10,000 times before. But this time, the internet had an appetite for scandal so big it swallowed logic whole. Shows played the clip on loop, turning every fragment into some type of hidden message. People turned philosophical comments into metaphorical codes. They claimed her pacing sounded like someone on the edge of truth. They said her breaths were too tense to be casual. When folks want drama, they will wring it out of air. The storyline mutated even further once fandom battles got involved. If you supported Chrisean, you insisted Karlissa was exaggerating to stir chaos. If you supported Karlissa, you argued she had older wisdom eyes that could see things the rest of the public couldn't. Debates grew fiery. Threads stretched into thousands of comments. Entire nights were wasted on back-and-forth speculation about what private behavior even meant. Nobody defined it. Nobody needed to. The vagueness was the narrative fuel. If the claim stays foggy, the story can expand infinitely. Reaction channels took it to the next level, stitching montages of Chrisean clips, from messy bedrooms to airport footage. Saying this must be what Karlissa referred to, others dug out live streams where Chrisean joked around, laughed aloud, or mispronounced a word, and used it as patterns, completely normal human moments, turned into investigative photo boards. If Chrisean blinked too long, they called it defensive energy. If she rushed past a camera angle, they yelled, "Something's off." The entire rumor economy ran on vibes. Meanwhile, some viewers decided Junior's normal baby noises were proof. Giggles, drooling, yawning, tiny frowns, all were declared internet court material. Screenshots of him sitting in a stroller were captioned, "Look closer." Look closer at what? No one could explain. But if you added enough suspense music, internet users convinced themselves they saw hidden meaning where no meaning existed. That's how digital conspiracy snowballs work. Details don't matter, imagination does. And through all this, Karlissa said nothing further. She didn't clarify, didn't escalate, didn't present a single follow-up remark. But her silence was treated like thunder. People swore she was pulling back strategically. Others claimed she'd said enough and was letting the audience connect the dots, even though no dots existed. Even though those dots were drawn by strangers who never met the family. The crowd was so attached to the scandal they refused to let it deflate. Soon, the meme economy went ballistic. TikTokers created reenactments of Karlissa's bombshell moment, starring themselves in wigs, whispering nonsense while giving intense stares. Twitter comedians tweeted pretend quotes like, "You see things a mother sees," and everyone retweeted them as though Karlissa had actually spoken those words. Screenshots flew out of context. Reactions overshadowed reality. Every edit expanded the myth. Commentators who barely knew the family dynamics made hour-long dramas from scraps. They spoke with gravitas, like courtroom narrators. if you really pay attention, she wasn't just talking. She was warning. Warning about what? They didn't know. They just loved the thrill of creating mystery. Some even spliced clips of Chrisean talking about motherhood or being overwhelmed with normal life stress and labeled them emotional cracks. The simple fact that she looked tired became symbolism. Nobody seemed brave enough to admit that babies are exhausting, and parents sometimes look worn out with zero scandal attached. And inevitably, fake insiders emerged to random accounts claiming they heard things or knew someone who heard things. Without a single detail, source, or quote, they spoke with the same type of certainty magicians use before revealing a trick, except their trick was never revealed. It stayed in rumor limbo, sustained only by people who like sounding like they hold classified tea. Once gossip blogs began posting vague summaries like, Karlissa raises questions about Junior's well-being, everything took a darker shape. Not because Karlissa made claims she didn't, but because the phrasing of those posts implied something existed when reality was nothing but digital telephone games. Headlines did in fact check. They fed curiosity. And curiosity online behaves like fertilizer. Reaction culture grew teeth. People turned casual imagery into forensic debate material. They built theories without foundations. They wove entire narratives about Junior's environment based on aesthetic details in background walls, clothing colors, and tone of voice. Nobody thought maybe Karlissa was just being Karlissa. They preferred the cinematic version. By the time this rumor reached its loudest point, it wasn't even about Karlissa anymore. It had become a canvas where viewers painted their own opinions of Chrisean, projections, biases, old beef, media narratives, influencer drama, and celebrity chaos all wrapped into one place. The bombshell wasn't bombshell at all. It was just a catalyst for people to relive past headlines and revive old controversies. A rumor built from nothing, inflated by everything else. And that's the exact moment the internet became convinced a vague livestream, paired with fan assumptions, had somehow transformed into revelation. They stopped asking if there was truth and started fighting only for the version of truth they found most entertaining. Because in digital scandals, entertainment always wins over accuracy. Nothing Karlissa said confirmed anything. Nothing Chrisean did pointed anywhere. Nothing Junior showed proved anything. The rumor spiraled solely because people wanted it to. Because mystery sells. By the time the dust settled, or at least stopped spinning fast enough for people to breathe, the internet had built a full-blown mythology around Karlissa's vague remarks. And the most unforgettable consequence wasn't the rumor itself, but the way audiences began filtering every future moment through the lens of that speculation. Junior could appear laughing with a toy, and someone would comment, "See? He seems fine. So why did Karlissa act like she knew something?" Another would reply, "Because she does," as if speculation had graduated into truth just by surviving long enough on a screen. From that moment onward, anything Chrisean did near a camera turned into review material. A shadow on the wall became symbolic, a missed livestream became avoidance, a strong laugh became deflection energy, normal humanity got rebranded as coded behavior. And all of it stemmed from a sentence that never explained itself, one that fans expanded and interpreted however they preferred. Karlissa's silence after the livestream became even bigger fuel. People swore she was waiting for the right time or deliberately leaving comments incomplete, so viewers would connect dots. They forgot that maybe she just moved on, because rumor culture finds shadow where none exists. Even streamers and bloggers who later tried to calm the hysteria weren't able to escape the narrative pull. They'd post disclaimers like, "This is all speculation," then proceed to interpret tone shifts, posture angles, or the volume of Karlissa's voice as though they were pieces from a redacted investigation. They reminded audiences that nothing was proven but still spent 30 minutes whisper analyzing her eyebrows. And unsurprisingly, viewers didn't hear the disclaimers, they only heard the suspense. The strangest effect was that Junior, who had never spoken, posted, reacted, or hinted anything, became the invisible center of a theater production built entirely by adults with overactive imagination. He didn't change. He didn't reveal anything. He simply existed, and existence became enough for the rumor to grip him like a ghost story. And because he is a baby, every expression was open to interpretation. If he smiled, that meant something. If he frowned, that meant something else. Even breathing patterns became suspicious, all because the internet couldn't resist filling in blanks. Blueface stayed mostly quiet on the subject, which made fans even more convinced there was something bigger than shade. Some said he was protecting the truth. Others argued silence meant disagreement with Karlissa's insinuations. Neither side had evidence, only emotional favoritism. Loyalty bias turned speculation into chess plays. Meme pages painted him as the referee of a drama he never acknowledged. One viral post used the caption, "If he ain't denying it, something's up." Except he never confirmed anything either. He simply never reacted. But mystery is an accelerant, and silence is a megaphone. Chrisean, on the other hand, kept doing what she always does, living, posting, laughing, navigating motherhood in front of an audience that has spent months treating normal chaos like a reality show script. If she posted a messy countertop, suddenly Karlissa's insinuations were vindicated. If she posted an organized space, the rumor crowd said she was setting up optics. No matter what Chrisean did, rumor culture twisted it into narrative fuel. The conspiracy had no finish line and no starting point. It was an engine powered only by imagination. Soon, online discourse stopped even discussing what Karlissa meant originally, and instead started arguing over what other people said she meant. The claim became so abstract that entire threads debated symbolism instead of content. The livestream clip became background material while interpretation turned into the main plot. People referenced TikTok comments, meme theories, sarcastic impressions, and recollections distorted by bias. At some point, interpretation overshadowed the original moment itself. The source dissolved, the narrative survived. That's when digital folklore took over. Karlissa dropped a bombshell about Junior became a conversation statement that people retold as if it were an official headline she confirmed verbally. The original vague comment got forgotten, replaced by the version that strangers created. Ask 10 viewers to explain what the bombshell was, and you'd get 10 different answers. None rooted in fact. All rooted in speculation, vibes, and emotional projection. People started using the rumor as leverage in unrelated arguments. TikTok lives about parenting, relationships, and fame, occasionally tossed in lines like, "Well, look at what's going on with that situation," even though that situation didn't exist. Social media didn't need factual grounding, just narrative value. The internet learned long ago that a story can win more attention than truth ever could. And if a story is attached to public figures with history, tension, and fan rivalries, it becomes immortal. The funniest, yet most telling part came later. Some viewers who had originally helped amplify the theory admitted they never believed it seriously. They just found it entertaining. They added dramatic music, red arrows, slow motion blinking, and whispers because suspense attracts views. They fueled the rumor for clicks, not conviction. But by then, the story had already become self-sustaining, living independently of its creators. It entered the realm of cultural myth, one where the audience keeps retelling it even after the spark is gone. And even if Karlissa herself went live tomorrow saying, "I never meant anything by that, y'all got carried away, the storm wouldn't die," people would say she was backtracking, covering, or avoiding conflict. Clarity would only stir the pot deeper. When audiences invest emotional energy in a narrative, they don't drop it, they remodel it to survive. Doubt becomes suspicion. Logic becomes cover-up. Every explanation becomes another angle. And that is exactly how a single vague livestream spiraling through meme edits, reaction panels, coded interpretation, and a digital crowd hungry for drama turned into the infamous imaginary bombshell. Not because Karlissa exposed anything. Not because Junior showed anything. Not because Chrisean hid anything. The entire saga thrives because online culture treats mystery like oxygen and implication like evidence. For fans, the most entertaining version of a story always becomes the true one, even if that truth exists only in captions, whispers, and overthinking projected onto silence. That's the final twist here. The revelation wasn't real. The claims were never spelled out. The bombshell held no details, yet the internet walked away convinced it witnessed something monumental. The rumor rewired perceptions, reshaped conversation, and created fictional archives from pixels and pauses. And even now, long after the live stream faded and timelines moved forward, the memory of that bombshell hovers like digital fog, not because there was anything inside it, but because everybody wanted something to be. And if you're still here after trekking through this entire rumor jungle, decoding eyebrow angles, analyzing live stream pauses, and treating harmless baby screenshots like forensic exhibits, then you, my friend, are officially part of the elite internet investigation unit. You witnessed firsthand how a vague comment, padded with zero detail, zero proof, and zero context, mutated into a full-scale bombshell that lived entirely inside the imagination of viewers who read metaphors like encrypted messages. Laugh all you want, but admit it, you love the ride. So don't ghost this channel like a silent witness slipping out the back door. Smash that like button with the kind of energy people use to zoom in on Karlissa's eyelashes. Drop a comment below and tell me what you think her cryptic livestream meant. Did people overinflate a simple shade session? Or did a harmless motherly rant ignite a conspiracy wildfire just because the audience wanted suspense more than reality? Unpack it, spin it, mock it. I want every dramatic interpretation your Wi-Fi can generate, because no comment section in the world runs spicier than this one. And before you roll out, hit subscribe like you're stamping a confidential clearance badge. Turn notifications on, because you already know the next whisper, blink, vague quote, or blurry screenshot will become a scandal the moment the internet decides it wants one. And when that next chaos wave hits, this is where the plot gets dissected first, with sarcasm sharper than Karlissa's side-eye. Stay nosy, stay dramatic, stay rumor-ready. Celeb SYNC, where imagination becomes entertainment.